Hey guys, Mark Ferrasci, ProTech Dog Training with Draco. Now we've got a lot of the stuff out here today that I wanted to kind of accent to you. Basically, it's tools. It's what I call props or tools. And we've got the box that we've been working on the last few days and showing you that position box, okay? Showing you how it's couché, pas bouger, how it's built, how it works. Then we've got a cone out today. I've got my table that I usually always have out. A lot of the table is that table is synonymous with my whole build on the dogs, getting the dog to go to the table, understand the word hup, to go away from me, yep, to come into me, get it, it's going to be away, yes is going to be into me. When we start playing some of these toy games, when we have our toys, right? And we're going to go over a lot of this today, but I had a friend of mine online that I've known for a few years. I've seen her grow up in the trade and she's really doing good with her dogs, but every now and then she'll do a post and she'll have some kind of anxiety that she's got, something she's working on. And in this regard, it's the backing up. And she's got an older PH1 dog. And so I wanted to accent some things. One, the tools, and you can be as creative as you want to be with a lot of this stuff, and you can make it work for you. You might see somebody else use something different, but it's the same concepts that we're trying to use. We're trying to use things that have barriers and tables, perches, right? The bowls are nothing but what we call a perch. And you see all kinds of stuff like this in the industry where they'll do a little square. They've got one box that they sell online. It's a little small table that's a small box. Doesn't have this length that the table here has, and they sell them. I can't think of the name of the brand name, but they're all over the place. They stack, and a lot of trainers use them, and they start buying that product, right? So these bowls, I just get from Tractor Supply. They're regular feed bowls, and having the right size is important. If I have too large a size and too large a dog, like a Great Dane or something, it's going to cave it in. Too small of a bowl, and it makes it too tight for the dog to really learn. I like this size. I think it's like a 3-quart. Something like that. So visually you'd have to see it, but this is the size that I like the best. Personal preference, right? We get used to certain things, right? So today, what I wanted to try to accent a little bit is about the tools, what I call props or tools. This trash can I just brought out, it's creativity. A lot of times you'll see these with this 50-gallon drums that they put out on the bite work. They use them for all kinds of things. And I'll show you kind of how we use that. Maybe not today, but in a general sense, I want to start accenting that we use tools and we use concepts that help us out, right? Concept of perches, right? Dog getting on top on this has a lot more awareness of where that edge is at, and he's going to have a tendency to stay there. Same thing with this table. That's what that's all about, right? The dog has a tendency to want to stay there. See where the box is at? That box kind of conforms that dog's attitude, and he's staying there for a lot longer because it's in one spot. If he was on flat ground, he might break a lot easier, okay? That's why we use those place veranda beds and things like that in the house. You'll see a lot of trainers using this, and they accent this with their pet quality customers because it fulfills the dog's psychological needs. It puts him in a location, and it has that barrier that he's on top of that makes the dog have psychologically be more prone to staying there. I look at it and laugh sometimes because these trainers get out there and they act like they're geniuses. You're only taking advantage of a dog's natural instincts, and we found out certain things that help us to go along, and that's what I'm saying, tools and things that you can use towards this, right? If I'm teaching a dog to stay in one location, a lot of times in ring sport, they'll put down a stick and they'll have the dog at a distance, and he learns not to broach that line because you're pushing him back. Same thing with his box. I'd be pushing him back. If he broaches that, I'm going to step on his toes. I'm going to push him back into that box and accent to him that I don't want him breaking. Right now he's slouching. I'm not going to worry about it because we're not in the flow of training. But I wanted to kind of go over some of this. So her question, she was having a problem with her dog backing up. Okay, so it all is about how you break down the puzzle and you put these pieces together in the right formation so that you end up being able to convey a finished product to the dog. Meaning you can't just expect to go out and do this without having these little pieces broken up in skill levels, right? So in this one, it's important that we teach the dog the position, and we can do that on a table because he's not going to go anywhere, and we're going to start teaching him the accent, the sitting, the downing, and the standing up, which is dabu, right? Draco, good, couché, correct, good. I want him sitting straight instead of slouching. He was slouching, but Draco knows all this. Draco, dabu, good, okay? He stood right up, no. Good boy, dabu. I'm going to accent to him that I do not want him forging forward or touching that lip. And I might have to do this a few sessions until he really understands what I'm after. Asi, ndabu. Yes, good boy, good. And you notice that hand signal right away. He's wanting the food, so he stands right up. This is how it was put together in the very beginning. These pieces, these kernels. That dabu means when I put my hand down, you stand up, right? If I'm going to say to sit, watch where my hand goes. Asi, okay? Right away, the food is above his nose, and we create that with our luring behavior and how we're luring the dog into these positions. Couche, okay? That's that hinge back down that we want. Good, good, good boy. Okay, so all these tools are used in specific ways, like the box, the table, the cone, the trash can. They all have their kind of specific uses that we can use them, but we can do things like I'm doing today. I'm pulling all this out together so I can get a straight line. So I can use a fence line straight, right up against it, right? Or a wall in my house. A lot of times the wall will be in a hallway. And I can use that nice pinched in area because we're so tight in there to do some things that accent behaviors in a nice tight fashion, right? So each one of these things can help us with acquiring the overall behaviors that we want, okay? We want a nice little tight flip into the finish. We want the dog to be able to go back for lengths of time. You see me doing it with Joker, with Buddy. They'll back across the whole field backwards at a fast pace. I'm having a problem with him right now because he doesn't want to go that fast. So I've got to keep breaking it down, keep doing it in drills, and keep coming back at it and pieces, 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 until we keep building the full behavior. Couche, correct. Correct. No, correct. Good, correct, good. So I'm accenting him to him what I want. I'm praising him in a nice straight line on his back. Nope, correct. I'm poke, good, correct, good. That's my boy. Good boy. Nope, nope, couche. Good. Okay, notice what I'm doing here. I'm accenting to him what I want, which is straightness, couche. So I'm accenting what the box has to give me, right? Good boy. Good, Draco. Double. Yes, good boy, good, okay? So each one of these behaviors. Now, once I get this positions of sitting, downing, and standing, double, good. Notice one of the pieces of that puzzle that you may not notice, which is this fist. If I go into the dog with a fist, back, yes, good boy. I push him backwards with my closed fist. He steps back, and then I say yes, and I flip my hand the other way. He's going to come into the food. So let's try that right now. Draco, yep, good boy, good. I'm going to do it from in front of me. Draco, here, good boy, good, yeah, good boy. He's confused because he says, when I see box, I'm supposed to go box. Yeah, good boy. Okay, so now we have the dog sitting in front of me. He's going to have 2 or 3 positions that he does out of this. He's going to either go between my legs with a command I call through, and he's just learning that, so he doesn't know it yet, or he's going to flip over here. Good. That means come in tight, right? Look at my body language. Dogs are a master of reading body language. Everything, your emotions, everything. Draco, up, yeah. Good. Okay, so each one of these things has been broken down into specific behavior. And now I need to put the whole pieces together. So let's talk about the backing up. Draco, here, good boy, good. Yeah, here, good boy, here, good. That's my boy, good. Yeah, yeah, go, good. Good boy. All right, so now he's anticipating. That's not a problem. Yep, go, yeah, good boy. We need to get it to flow a different way. Good. Draco, double, back. Okay, so right away, keep the fist closed, ask for a dabu, which gets him standing up, nabu, back, and then push into him using spatial pressure, right? Then push into him using spatial pressure. Come here. Yep, come on. Good boy, here. Good boy, here. Good boy, good. That's my boy. He's confused because all this stuff is out there. Good. Nabu, back. Okay, and then spatial pressure backing him up. That would be the first way that I would start teaching a dog a back. I would dabu him in front of me, and then I'd back him up a couple steps, and I right away surge the other way into my explosion release. There's a reason that all this is here. If I already have an explosion release, bucks, good boy, good, you're confused because all the tools are out here. Yes, sir. All right, so we've got him here. Good boy. Nabu, back. Yes, good boy, good. Asi, good, right up to the lip. Good, Draco, couche, and then push him down and back away from that lip, right? So he's hinge back downing. So we're going to keep that up. Again, pieces of a puzzle. There's thousands of these little pieces that you need to put together. So for the backing up, yep, here, good boy, good, here, good, it's here, good boy, double, back, good boy, back. And you could have the argument of giving it a word or not in the beginning. You could do it without a word because he's going to respond to the spatial pressure, the body language that you've already have in this picture. He already knows the dabu, right? Nabu, yes, good boy, good. And then backing into him gives you a couple steps, yes, good boy. And then the springing backwards is going to give you some excitement and into drive, which is part of our whole formula, right? Drive matters. How we get the drive, what we do with that drive is important. Come here. He says, what's all this tools? Good boy, box, good boy. Cool shit. Good. So today, I kind of sense that the biggest thing I need to do is accent getting into the box and pushing back, not letting him touch the wires. No. Good. Nabu. Yes. Good boy. Good. Draco. Here. Good. All right. So that's the first step. You have to teach him all the position changes, have him have a basic idea of position changes. Joker, quiet. Nabu. So that you can start doing what you need to do. Now, notice what happens. If I have nothing out here, I don't have a chute that he can stay straight, right? And he's going to end up having a tendency to flip out and to spin. Draco, here, good boy, good, yay. Now, I don't have a good flow of training as far as drive state and all that with me right now, but I'm trying to put some things together so we have enough pieces that I can keep growing the dog, right? And right now, he's learning to back up. I want him to learn through. Good, good, right between my legs so that I can get some of this action. This gives me some more of the back end awareness. See how many places I could have all this stuff? I could use the bowls for back end awareness. I can use the in between my legs to get some back end awareness because he's naturally going to want to flip when I turn, right? And I keep the food, I can keep things positive and be doing things in that way. Back end awareness, we're going to keep working on this constantly so that he gets more and more limber at the back end and can turn with anything I ask and will right away go into that back end awareness. It all starts with the bowls and teaching the dog to step with the spatial pressure and then do all that. This is where it starts. Draco. Yep. Pace. Pace. Good boy. Good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay? That's where it starts. And we want to keep that stuff up so that he has a lot of good sense, a lot of feeling for that back end awareness. And that whole OPA, good. Quarter turns, OPA, good. Good. OPA, good. Yep. Okay, so all those little things that matter, the pieces in the puzzle that are going to add up to the finished product. All right, so what I wanted to accent here, and this is why I put it in a line like this, is I wanted to accent how you can use a straight line, meaning a fence line, side of a building, a curb, with just that little raised area on a curb, a sidewalk curb, can be used to keep him straight because it keeps the dog, he feels it, and he doesn't want to step out and spin out away from you, right? So we can get creative and we can use all kinds of things to create these barriers and things that we need, right? Cones, I'll go into that later. I'll put that behind us. Trash cans or 50-gallon drums, or all that's used as well in some of these stages for what we're trying to work on. Draco. So what I'm going to do now, good boy, good boy, is try to get him flowing. This was my main goal today anyway. Good boy. Good. Into backing up. So we taught you one thing. In front of me, spatial pressure, pushing him back. A few steps right away into my explosion release. Get his drive up. Get him happy. And then take that into one of the pieces in your flow. Because you might have 5, 10 different pieces. I may go to the gate. I may go to the fence. And I'll back up in a drill about 4 or 5 times on that. I'll go into some other stuff. I'll come back to it. I'll have him sitting here and I'll push him back in front of him straight of me. He's going to still see that. OPA. Good boy. Good. All right. You ready? Ready? Are you ready? Ready? Come on. Are you ready? Ready? Are you? Are you ready? Ready? Good boy. Good. Good boy. Good. You ready? Ready? Good. Good boy, good. We've talked about reward placement a lot of times. Draco, yes, good boy, good. Yeah, good boy, ha ha ha. Good boy, these toys are going to bring up his drive. Quiet, knock it all off. Excuse the dog's barking, but we've got that bitch. I think she's back in season. She's throwing all the ball. It's not my dog. It's what irritates the hell out of me. She's a wild dog that's out here that crawled up underneath that house to have her puppies, and I basically started feeding them, and now I'm stuck with dealing with this pain in the butt. Out. Yes. Good boy. Good. Yeah. Go. Good boy. Out. Good. Up. Yeah. Good. All right. So for this one, my flow is all ruined because I'm not concentrating on him. I'm concentrating on yakking to you guys. Up, yeah. Good. That's my boy. Yes. Good boy. All right. Notice how I did that armpit drop. Another piece of a puzzle that creates a behavior. Out with this reward placement. Draco, out. Here. Good boy. Good. Yes. Good boy. Yeah. Get it. That we have 4 or 5 of those different locations that when I give him my YES marker, he gets to go in and go after this toy. Out. Another piece here. Good of the puzzle. Draco. Good. Draco. Yes. Good boy. Yeah. Good boy. Good. Yeah. You got it. Good boy. Good. Draco out. Good. My pattern of, yes. Good. Out. Yes, good boy, good. Every one of these little pieces of the puzzle that gets you things. Out. I see. Gosh. Get it. Reward placement behind, over his head, and backwards. Joker, quiet. Good. Draco out. Good. The other one with that flip finish that I built in. Here. Good boy, good. No. Now what I did right there was try to put the, I see. Good. Draco. Up, yeah. Yes, good boy, good. Notice how I did that. It ties into my explosion release. I made him wait. Out. Here. Good. This is not the command to go into that finish. Right? Underneath my arm, that's where I can wait, make him wait, and explode into my flip finish, which would be the same thing as my explosion release. Draco. Here. Good. Yeah, go. Good boy. Good. Draco. Up, yeah. Nope. Yes, good boy, good. So, if nothing else, I hope you're starting to understand that we have 1,001 little small pieces of a puzzle that we have to put in to create behaviors that we want. And we use these tools, props is what some people call them. I call them tools. Out, yes. And behaviors that create the overall finished. Out, impulse control. I see. He's got to have this piece in the puzzle before we can go other places. Yes. Good. All right. Good. Which is all about waiting for that explosion release into the YES, right? Out. Good. All right. Let's go to this last one using what I really wanted to accent this morning was a straight line. Again, I can use a wall. I can use a fence. I can use all kinds of things. Or I can get creative like I've done this morning and create it. Let's see if I can. I've got a straight line with all these pieces put together. Up, yeah. Good boy. Good. Yeah, go. Okay, one more piece to that backing up. I could have it 5 different ways of Sunday, right? Good boy. Draco. Back. Good. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to try to get, good boy, yeah, a nice long 5 or 6, 10 steps. Draco. Good. It would start like this. You would be out of sight on a fence line. You would take the food in your right hand. You would push the food into his nose as you spin this way, and you would start saying back and moving him backwards, and I'll actually tap that rear end out if he's, yes, good. If he's trying to come out. Oh, yeah, good boy. Talking to him, talking to you guys, and trying to work him is not conducive into drive state, into flow of training, ending things on a high point. All these accent points have to be done with my dog, my head into the dog and me being in tune together. Me sitting here yakking my brain and trying to concentrate on what I'm trying to communicate to you blows me. That's why I need somebody doing film so they can just watch me sometimes without me yakking at the film, at this camera. But all right, so back in the same thing. Right hand into his nose, back. He already knows Dabu, so he stood right up. I want him to stay back, so I'm going to kind of tap that rear end over. Come on. Good boy. I see. Nope. Good. I see. Nope. Good. I like that he's trying to do it. Good boy. I see, but I want him doing it from a sit. Good boy. Draco. Good. Back. Nope. Good. Yeah. Good boy. Good. No. Come on, Draco. Getting confused is what he is because I'm trying to concentrate on you guys and trying to demo this stuff. No. Oh, yeah. Good boy. Good. Yeah, good boy. Good. If you're having a problem with something, guys, go to something else. Notice the little pieces. There's one more piece in behavior that you see, which is head up, yeah, into the food, and we get a nice posture out of this, right? Good. So what I'm trying to accent to you with that, trying to yeah, nope. Good. If I really want to make myself look good, I'll keep my mouth shut and concentrate on the dog and get somebody else to film me and just work the animal. And it's going to look totally different if I do that. When I try to concentrate on you guys, that goes to hell in a handbasket. I don't have anybody editing my film, coming out here and putting music and little yah-yahs to it. So I can't look as good as somebody else that I don't think is as good as he thinks he is. OPA. Good. There you go. See how that worked? OPA. No. Good. Good. Back. So one of the things you don't see in the pieces of the puzzle, we're talking about all this breakdown, is one of the big major pieces. What is it? Can you see it? Giving the pressure. Giving the pressure. It's one of the reasons I have this nice light long line on them with a real small little clasp. Yes. Good. What I was trying to do there is accent giving the pressure. And I can take that and break that down and just work on giving the pressure for a week or two, right? Which would be how I started this backing up. He knows that because I've already started it on the fence line. And all I did, yes, and right away, 2 or 3 steps and right away into food. Yes, you got to make sure that your pressure is right behind the back like that, not pulling up and back. We need it to be nice and straight line above the neck. And that's, again, all I'm doing is I'm putting a little bit of pressure. Right when he gives to it, I let go of the pressure and I say yes, it goes into my hand, right? You got to break these behaviors down to little small pieces. Now, back to my friend with her older KNPV PH1 dog. Dog's been trained from a puppy, but when you get an older dog like that, their drive states, their mental attitude in the work has been dissipated. It's different places. You don't have the same thing you do with a puppy. That's why I like to work puppies so much, because I can put these pieces together. I can create the way the dog thinks in the work, and I can create these drive states that get me my finished product. When you have an older dog and you've got to come back in and start working them, you're not going to have the same enthusiasm, the same drive states for these little pieces of the puzzle that you're trying to work. And you're going to go and do this, and the dog's motivation is going to be low. How do you get higher motivation? Drive is the answer. Toys, right? Get him high on the drive and get him to go into that drive state. Right in between. So if I'm here, this is a good example of it. If I ask him to back up, yep, come on, and then I right away surge away from it, get him high on it, get his drive state higher, then I'm going to have more success in the mental attitude, enthusiasm, and his overall motivation into the work. I can get a lot more of that with a puppy, and I can create it, I can mold it, I can fashion it. When you see me bring Buddy out as an example, or Joker, I can take their mental drive state to wherever I want it by just cueing into certain things, like my "Are you ready?" with Buddy. He doesn't know that yet. So if I ask him if he's ready, Draco, good boy, good. Draco, you ready? You ready? Good boy, good. Listen to my voice tone. Good boy, Draco, you ready? Good boy, good. You ready? Pass off. Draco, pass off. Come on. Trying to get him to bark at me. Pass off. Good boy, good. He doesn't know it, right? Everybody else is barking their heads off because they know what PA means, right? Pass off. Draco. All right, we're done. I'm not going to give it to him. I'm not going to follow through. I'll come back to that little piece of the puzzle later, all right? Quiet, knock it off. Kind of hard when I got all these dogs. My voice tone stimulates them, gets them going. So it's hard to keep him under control. We need to go to the park, Draco. All right, so back to this. So the 2 ways to start into backing up, the 2 pieces is here, after you've got Dabu, his basic understanding of all this, Asi, Kushe, Dabu. Yes, that would be the first thing. You got to give him his positions, right? Changes. Draco, up, yeah, good. And I have a whole flow of this. He's working a lot better as far as his animation, but it's me yakking at you, trying to communicate to you that's blowing my session out of the water here. But that's all right. Opie, nope. Opie, yes, good. Notice how he had to tuck his rear end to get away from that wall. That's one thing I would do. Try to use your hallway, that sort of thing. Go next to the door and get him to flip tight into you. And he has to move tighter because that wall's in his way. And that's going to create a posture. Opie, Draco, here. Let's try that right now then. Come on. Now, I'm not getting any motivation on this because my dog is way out to lunch because I'm yakking at the screen. He doesn't understand that. My voice tone, my body language, everything's not in tune to keep the dog flowing because I'm yakking at you. Okay? Up, yeah? Yes, good boy, good, yeah, good boy, good. I'm gonna try that one more time. I want him closer to the wall so he has to tuck in and get away from that wall as he comes in. It's gonna create a tighter flip. Here, good boy, good, yeah, yeah, up, yeah, good, okay? Notice the wall. That's gonna, and he sees it out of the corner of his eye. He wants to get away from it, so he creates a different posture with him as he flips in. So this is just one way that you can use a straight line to help you out. And I would suggest using your hallways in your house, right? And get an open doorway, and right as he flips, he's in front of you here, and as he flips in, that open doorway is gonna be closed because the wall's right there. The open doorway might be here, and you're right on top of that, and now he's gonna flip, and he's gonna sense that there's something in his way, and he's gonna give a tighter flip, right? Little tricks. OPA, good. All right, guys, that's enough of my yak session today. The dog's head's not in the right place because my brain is into trying to communicate to you, and that blows my whole session out of the water. Not as conducive as I like it for the dog, but I'm trying to teach you guys, so it is what it is. So remember, backing up can be started from in front if he knows Dabu, if he knows to stand from this position and back into him with spatial pressure. Or on a line, on a wall here, and I go sideways and I right away, fist goes into the dog. Remember the rules. The rule is that if I do this, you're allowed to come into it. Notice it? If I do this and I keep my fists closed, he's supposed to back up and away from those fists. Okay? That means to give. Give to these fists. That's what it's going to turn into, right? So if I'm here and I go like this, notice it's closed. Yes. Right away when it opens, he's allowed to have the food, right? All right, Draco, come on. Up. Couche. Good. Not a very good session for us, for you and me, because I'm yakking at these people on the screen, but I think they get the idea, okay? So we will try to pick a day that I can find somebody to film me and get in tune with the animal and keep my mouth shut and be in tune with the dog and see if I can accent some of this stuff by you watching me do it without me yakking at the dog, at you, which takes away from his energy, right? Takes away from his drive states. All right, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training, signing off. Have a good day, guys.